Hey there, it's Don with the DIY Collaborative, and today we're working on a pool. This one's not in too bad a shape. It's looking pretty good. It's got an older coating, liner, if you will, and it's got a few issues, but we've also got one issue down in the deep end of the pool that we've been noticing, and I'll zoom in here. I think you can probably see that, where there's like a little divot or something has gouged out some of the plaster on the wall of the pool right there. And we've tried shocking it and a few things like that, and it really just doesn't do anything. So I was looking around uh, on Amazon, on the internet, YouTube, trying to find some different things to possibly get that I could reach down in there with. I've tried my standard pool brush on on an extending pole to get down there and scrub it, and it just doesn't seem to do anything. So I found something that actually holds the 3-inch chlorine pucks that I really like. So I'm going to show you that here in a minute. Get one loaded up in it and use it to gently scrub that area, and that's going to actually, put some chlorine right on that little problem. Now, eventually, we'll have to probably drain this pool, resurface it, new plaster, what have you. But for in the meantime, during the swim season, to keep from having to do that right now, we're just going to try this chlorine puck on the end of our extension pole that we usually have our brush and or our dip net on to dip things out, like this leaf right here that you see floating around in the foreground. So this is the pool brush I was talking about that I normally try to use, and it's just got the soft bristle brushes on. And I've also got another smaller brush that actually has wire bristles on it that I could use on that spot, and I have, and it works to a degree. But one of the problems I have with these, and especially with using it in a pool too much, is these little wire bristles can come off of this head, believe it or not. I actually found one last year when I was cleaning the pool, and you can see some of them sticking out there. And with people in the pool barefooted and stuff, I don't want getting these in their feet. So that's one of the reasons I try to steer away from using this brush. What I was talking about is I've got this device here that I found on Amazon, and it actually fits on the pole here where the brush is. It just clips in, and this thing is stainless steel. I've used it for several seasons now in the pool, and you can see it looks pretty good. But it'll actually hold one of the 3-inch chlorine pucks, and I'll get one of those loaded up in here, or show you how to load one here in a second. But I just wanted to show you the tool. So just for your information, this is one of those pool floaties that holds the chlorine tablets that we're going to be using in our little holder. And this is one of the chlorine pucks. I recommend wearing some of these gloves like this, but if you don't have them, just get a plastic bag or something like that, so you don't have to be touching these tablets with your skin. That has chlorine, and it's for all intents and purposes, it's very corrosive, and it could irritate your skin if you're going to be handling it for very long. So the little bracket has a thumb screw here, and it has a little surface that would mash up against it. But to get the 3-inch tablet in there, you need to back this all the way out, and then your tablet, once you get it back all the way out, your tablet should slide down in there like that, and you can see it's all the way against the back of it here. And you want to just take this thumb screw then and tighten it up. You don't have to get it excessively tight, but you want to get it tight enough that it's going to hold that in there. You don't want to lose that puck. You can always dip it out if you do out of the pool, but you just want it to be tight against that puck. And now that it's in our holder, we can just take our pole that we normally have our skimmer net or our brush on and put it in the pole, lock it in, and now we've got a little scrubber if you will, to use on that black algae spot or any others that are in the pool. And you don't want to get carried away with this. You don't want to rub too much of the plaster off, but to get some chlorine off of this puck directly on that spot that's in question, you want to take this and you're going to rub it very gently against the wall or the plaster surface of the pool where the issue is at. And we'll get set up and show you that here in a second. And if need be, you can loosen these lock nuts here, and this head will adjust if you need it to be. But this is where I like for it to be set, and I've used it in this position in the past. So it's going to be a little bit difficult to see this because of the way the sun and the shadows are right now, but I think you can make it out. You can see that spot. So we're going to take our pole with our chlorine tablet holder and our chlorine tablet in, and go ahead and put it down in there. And when I've got it in position over that spot, I'm just going to gently rub it. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but you might be able to even see some of that algae coming up out of that spot. And I'm going to turn it and kind of brush it crossways of that spot as well. I can really feel that there's a pretty good divot there. So I don't know if something gouged it or what happened, but I do remember, I think it was last spring, we had a pretty good storm come through this area, and we had a large, like a wire outdoor picnic table and chair set with an umbrella on it here. And I believe that actually the table with the umbrella the umbrella was closed. It was, it happened overnight, but we came out the next morning, and that table and the umbrella had actually gotten blown into the pool right here. So I'm thinking maybe it actually gouged the surface of the pool down there, is what's allowing this algae spot to be there. here's that same spot after a few hours, and it is looking a little bit better, but I'm not really sure that that method is going to work. We are going to shock the pool first thing in the morning and test the water again and try to see how all the levels and everything look, but I want to let that continue to work on that area. And I may even get that tool out and try to scrub it a little bit more in the morning. But because of how deep this one spot is, I'm not really sure that that's going to do the trick. And unfortunately, I think we're probably going to have to look at some plaster work on this pool surface.